YouTube, what's good, my familia? You know, it's your boy Everything Water. Water is everything. I got for y'all another Destiny 2 Hunter Void build. Now this build is insane. This build will have you jaw breaking, man. Yeah, your jaw going bro watching this video, man. I got for y'all a very good end game build, man. If you like this video, man, please leave a like, subscribe. It's your boy Everything Water, man. Let's get straight into that video. Now we're gonna be going over two exotics that are really important for this build, but the main exotic that will give you maybe about 50% of your super is the Orpheus Rigs. So the Orpheus Rigs provides ability energy for each target tethered by dreadful anchors. Mobius Quiver has an additional slot. Now, like I said, one thing when you in endgame content, you want to be able to cause as much damage at the same time weakening enemies. So the tether is perfect for that. Now, using Deadfall instead of Mobius Quiver, you want the Deadfall excuse me, Deadfall lasts a lot longer. It also gives you opportunity with the other what's it called, exotic, to make you gain your super extremely fast, probably about, like, depending on how many enemies there are, like it says, the amount of enemies you have, the more super energy you will gain from using this tether. So this is a really underrated exotic that a lot of people do not use for some reason, especially in endgame content. I mean, obviously there's better exotics, but Orpheus Rigs is really good for gaining super, providing orbs of power for your teammates, giving you, like I said, giving you super so quick. It gives you already, depending on how many enemies, you can get between like 50% of your super back. Like I said, it did get nerfed from what it used to be, because it used to be ridiculously broken. It's still broken, obviously, when you combine it with other weapons. But yeah, this is the Orpheus Rigs, and this will be your anchor of the build. For the second exotic right here, we have the Wish Ender. Now, if you do not know how to get the Wish Ender, you can get the Wish Ender by doing the Dream City. It's a quest you can get from the tower, or it's a quest you can get from the person that's at the Dream City, whatever her name is. But yeah, so this weapon is very OP. It's one of the best weapons in the game. It's really good, as you guys can see, for piercing burial champions. It gives you super energy back. I don't know why. Aiming on sight, and also gives you like true sight, where you can see enemies and stuff like that. But for me, what makes this weapon so good is when you do tether, not only do you gain your super back while hitting enemies with this weapon, whatever enemy you hit with this weapon, any enemies that are in the tether that gets hit with the tether gets hit with that around that same amount of damage, which is absurd. It's very overpowered. Using tether with this is the perfect combo, one of the best combos for hunters in the game, in my opinion. This weapon does everything you need it to do. For any end game content, you gain super, you do good amount of damage, and also when you're using tether, any enemy you hit first, that's gonna be the damage that's gonna be there for any enemy that's in the tether. So which is, it's so OP. This really puts the icing on the cake of your build. If you do not have the Wish Ender, you could go with something like the Bad Juju. It's not as good, nowhere near as good as the Wish Ender, in my opinion, but the Bad Juju plays its parts in getting super energy. So yeah, you can use one or the other, but the Wish Ender is so much better. But yeah, that's it for the weapons, and let's go into for the aspects and the mods and weapons and fragments. So obviously we're using Shadow Shot Deadfall. You don't have to using Mobius Quiver or Spectral Blades is pointless. You want to have as much duration of tether as you can have, you know, because you're gonna get your super extremely fast. So, you know, we're gonna be using Gambler's Dodge. You do want your melee, because what I'm using, but whatever you prefer, doesn't matter if you want your relay weapons. But me, for the build, make sure you have your melee. Obviously for grenades, I'm using Vortex Grenade. For aspects, I'm using Vanishing Step. Obviously, dodging makes you invisible. Then I'm also using Trapper's Ambush. Instead of using what's it called, Style Executioner, we will be using Trapper's Ambush. It gives you just a second option to become invisible. Also, when you are picking up your teammate, you can throw this down, making you and your teammates invisible, which is also good for endgame, any endgame content. If you're able to revive a teammate without getting hit, you know, that's important. So you have 2 cases of invisibility, which makes it so much better. Now going with our fragments. Fragments is, you can really choose how you, depending on your play style. See me, I'm a type of person where I like to make sure I'm always being able to heal, always being able to get shields or whatever, because I like to be just, sometimes I'm not really aware, like I have tunnel vision, so I'm just constantly just looking forward, not really aware what type of enemies is behind me and stuff like that. So for my first fragments, my apologies, I'm using Echo of Vigilance. Defending a target where your shields are depleted grants you a temporary void overshield. Like I said, when you're playing high-end content, dungeons, raids, lost sectors, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna be under 20 or 10, whatever, whichever your light is, you're gonna be under. So having overshield when you lose, right, once you lose your shield, is very good, temporary. I'm also right here picking up a Void Beach or Overpower, grants you a Devour. Echo of Starvation. So yeah, that's also good. Like I said, Devour is really, really good. It just, like you said right there, feast on energy, may defeat a foe. Final blows restored you to full health. You want to be able to be as full health as much as possible, stuff like that. Now this is, you can switch this out for anyone how you want to do it. If anything, I'll probably use right here, finisher, final blows. But for me, this is just for weapons. Void ability, final blows creates targets to explode. So this is Echo of Explosion, Explosion, whatever it's called, I don't care. Echo of Persistence. Void buffs ability to you, invisibility, over shields, devour, or increase duration. So just increasing your duration. Like I said, these 2 are the bread and butter. The other ones you can use. You don't have to use these 2, honestly. But yeah, that's really it. This helps the whole build. You're gonna be, with Trapper's Ambush, you can do an air dive that weakens enemies and also makes your team invisible too. So that's really cool. So being able to weak enemies also when you're not using what's it called, your tether, is also really good too. Alright, for my armor mods, you guys can go ahead and screenshot this if you guys want to see. But obviously for the cloak, I'm using Distribution, Powerful Attraction, and Bomber. For Orpheus rigs, I'm using Insulation and AB Solution. For my chest piece, I am using emergency reinforcement for both. You want to be, the reason I say use emergency reinforcement, because you already maxed out your resilience with this build. If you can get 100 resilience, obviously you want to get as much resilience as you can when you go into endgame content. So if you can do that, do it. So you don't want to have anything that wants to give you higher resilience. Like if you're going to the chest, you can use right here, Front of Endurance. There's no point unless you have lower, if you don't have excuse me, if you don't have 100 resilience, then make sure you are using Front of Endurance. But if you don't, emergency reinforcements is perfect, because when your shields become broken, you gain temporary damage reduction. Important. You want to be able to reduce as much damage as possible. So yeah, let's go to the arms. For the arms, I'm using Focus Strikes with the because I'm using Trapper's Ambush. When I go down, it counts as a strike. I mean melee strike. It hits and weakens enemies. So as long as you're hitting targets, you're gonna get super. And if you end up killing one, you know, it makes it overpowered. For my headpiece, I'm using Dynamo for both of these. But yeah, that's really it for my mods. And if you guys want to see right here, these are my artifacts. I am using Supernova, Protective Breach right here, because it's picking up a Void Beat, gives you an overshield or refreshes your existing overshield. So yeah, anything has to do with just Void, you want to pick it up. But yeah, it's your boy Everything Water, and Water's Everything. Thank you guys so much, man. We are growing on my second channel. We are going crazy. But yeah, it's your boy Everything Water, and I'm out.
Yay! For that bitch, hey!